Hello, dear friends, how are you? Something very interesting has happened indeed. You know that Hajj is coming, and Hajj is performed at the three holy places. It is the Mecca Mukarrama and it is the Kaaba. Then it is the Prophet Mosque, the second most sacred place and the Islamic sacred place. The third one is Arafat. And every years, Muslims from across the world travel to Saudi Arabia, travel to Mecca Mukarrama, travel to Medina Munawwara, travel to Arafat as well. And this year too, millions of people are ready to leave their respective countries and arrive at Saudi Arabia. Something very interesting indeed. And it happened for the first time that three Spanish Muslims, men in their 30s and 40s, one Moroccan Muslim, he too was settled there in the Spain. The four of these Muslim men, they were practicing horse riding as a hobby. They were horse riders. Horse riding was their hobby. They wanted to perform a Hajj, but in a very, very different manner of traveling. They opted to travel on their horsebacks. The three of them started their journey from Barcelona, Spain, and started. First of all, they obtained the visa, Saudi Arabian visa for Hajj. Hajj have a separate visa. They got it, and then they didn't buy the ticket at all. Neither the ferry or ship ticket, nor the aeroplane ticket, nor even the train, the bus, nothing else. They readied their horses, rode their horses, carried the traveling items, carried their food and the rest of the luggage on their horseback, started traveling towards Mecca Mukarrama, towards Saudi Arabia. It took them many weeks. It took them more than 4 weeks of traveling, and they kept traveling, kept traveling. After several weeks of traveling, then finally, although it was not an easy traveling at all, they were the horse riders, but such a longer horse ride. It was not easy at all. It was not easy at all. And they kept traveling. And many hours in every day time. Sometime they made their horses run. At many other time they kept their horses just walking, and this way the travel kept going on. They slept during the night as they were carrying the tents and the sleeping bags as well. They didn't eat from the restaurant. They rarely ate from the restaurants. From every station, they bought the food and carried it in their carried along. So whenever they wanted to stay, they wanted to take rest. Not only that, they stayed there for several hours, they cooked for them, then they spent their night, and during the daytime too, they were making breaks at least twice and thrice a day. So in this manner, they kept on traveling towards Saudi Arabia, toward Medina, toward Mecca Mukarrama. And after the passage of several weeks traveling this manner, they reach the border area of Saudi Arabia, and then they were received by the Saudi authorities. They were warmly welcomed. They were warmly welcomed, and not only the officials, but so many of the Saudi citizens as well. They gave them a heroic welcome, and hosted. First of all, they were given a thorough medical checkup. First of all, they were given a thorough medical checkup, and they took a good amount of rest. They keep resting for several days because they were very tired, very dusty, very tired. And then they were served with the Saudi cuisine. They were really accorded heroic welcome. And after a thorough medical checkup, after resting for several days near the border city, then again they rode their horses. They did not take the buses, not the aeroplane, but they kept on traveling through their own, by their own, on the horseback of their own. And that is a very interesting story. The media has covered it, particularly the Saudi Arabian media, the print media, the electronic media, the digital media, the social media, every media. It was the biggest news of Saudi Arabia. And I think the people across the world, they are they took great amount of interest in this, such a great travel, such a longer travel on the horseback. Maybe nobody in the near future, in the near past, has traveled like that. Such a huge amount of travel on the horsebacks. A very interesting story, not only for the Saudis, but for the Muslims, and but even for the rest of the people as well.